Hello, hello, welcome back. 𝗤𝙗𝗘𝗏𝗂 here with the third episode of 9 in this photo appreciation series, which is taking photographs from the 5-day challenge I just did and appreciating them and picking out a couple of points why I like them. So I'm looking like this today. 𝗤𝙗𝗘𝗏𝗂, blue shirt. I know the ladies like that sort of detail. What else can I tell you? No green smoothie because I'm in rupture of stock. It might be French translated into English. Rupture of stock of fresh spinach. So I'm still on the water at the moment. Anyway, I'll be okay. Don't worry about me. So let's launch into the show. And the show consists of 9 days in a row. Well, actually 9 sessions in a row in less than 9 days of me doing some photo analysis for about 20 minutes on your photographs mainly, 9 of your photographs and a couple of mine. Then the last 10 minutes of the show is me showing you the masterclass, which is coming up, because this is like if you want to watch this, it's fine, anyone can watch, but it's also a warm-up for the masterclass, which is starting on Monday, which I would love you to join. So if you want to check out what's in that comes along about minute 20. Right, so let's launch into it. And how do I do that? I think I press this button here. Yep, there we go. All right, so this is mine. So I start with one of mine, which is actually, if you have a look, it's circled down in the bottom left. So I'm going to analyze all of these photographs this week, amongst other stuff. This is in Montmartre, which is one of the most beautiful romantic parts of Paris. And doesn't it look beautiful and romantic? It's a cute little street. And what's interesting about this shot? Well, it's just checking the microphone's actually on. You wouldn't want to miss my pearls of wisdom, would you? So it's got a low sun and I'm shooting into the sun. In other words, the sun is in front of me and any shadows that are there are coming towards me. That's nice. You know, the classic shot, my grandma always used to want shots of us, and we had to be staring into the sun, sort of eyes screwed up, tears streaming down my face because I've got very sensitive eyes. And it was awful. But in some cases, I'm going to get my head sorted out in a minute. In some cases, shooting into the sun is good when, you know, I'm getting it all mixed up. If I'm taking pictures of people who are looking into the sun, I've got the sun behind me. But the sun in front is a technique. It's a thing. And look how amazing it is. What does it do? Well, it gives you these gorgeous, especially when the sun is low, gorgeous long shadows, very atmospheric. You've also, when you've got cobbles, if you've got a flat sun or a cloudy day, you don't even see the detail. But look, every little crease, as it were, in between each cobblestone is highlighted, and that's beautiful. Plus, the sun bounces off the flat surface, which you know, even accentuates the difference between the shadows and the light. And then you've got this cute little street. And if you look, I'll only concentrate on the sun. You've got the sun skimming along the edges of the shot fronts there, and all the little details come up. You see the leaves there are lit. Even the hood thing that the person is wearing has a kind of halo effect around the edge where the sun is shining through it. So that's a technique that we cover in the masterclass, of course. Lighting position and how to get great shots from it. Now, what about you guys? Well, we've got 𝗏𝗏𝗏, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 took this picture. I guessed what it was. You know, it's not completely obscure, but isn't it beautiful? Where did you get that kind of blue and yellow bit? I mean, I don't think it's a special effect. It looks like that's genuinely what it looked like. Let's just zoom in on that a bit. It's a minimalistic composition. I love the fact you've got one this way and one this way. That's really interesting. You've got a bit of a space on the left there. Perfect. Light coming through glass, especially thick, irregular glass like this, can give you some wonderful lighting effects. You don't need special effects. This is nature's own special effect. And isn't that marvelous? It will tend to take on the color of whatever's behind it or under it or, you know, near it. So there must be something yellowy, perhaps, behind. And maybe the blue is the sky it's reflecting, because don't forget the sides are curved, so that distorts everything. Lovely shot. Really like it. All right, so thanks, 𝗏𝗏𝗏. Now, this one is from Thomas. And I think he kind of put it in as one of those guess what it is shots. And I was thinking, oh, it's a kind of a houseboat. And apparently it isn't a houseboat, it's a house. And that's what you can get from getting in really close, because this is looking at day 2, the day 2 topic, which was getting in close. And that's what you get when you get in close. You move away from reality. You move away from seeing something which is immediately, oh yeah, it's a and then you start to wonder. The photo gets more intriguing. Instead of becoming a house, it becomes curved lines zapping down or zapping out to the top right-hand corner in a very impressive way. And then you've got this sort of detail on the top left in that little triangle. It's all cool. It's all good. I like it. By the way, if you're commenting, thank you. I'll answer your comments after 20 minutes. Just going to try and keep this to 20 minutes in case people just want to watch this and get out of here. Right, so that was Thomas. Actually a house, but looking a bit like a boat. Isn't that amazing? Look how when you get in close, the lines get distorted and you get all this splaying out effect. You'd never get that if you just took it straight on, and the photograph would be less interesting. Now this one is from Mary, and it's a very simple shot. Now remember, the exercise was getting close, and this is the sort of detail. I'm guessing it's on a window or on a door. It might be the sort of door you go through every day without ever paying any attention to it. And yet, if you reduce it down to just a study of lightness and shade, colors, it's absolutely stunning. Look at the blue. I mean, I could die in that blue. You know, there's a painter. It's someone Klein, and he just painted blue panels for quite a bit of his life. You know, a blue panel, or with variations. And this is a bit like one of his. There's more to it than just the blue panel. It's not just the pure color, but my goodness, wow, can't you just drown in that? And there is that interesting variation of tones in the 4 blue bits. Like bottom is really dark blue, top is dark blue, left is lighter blue with lots of detail, thanks to the sort of frostedness of the window. And on the right, there's a mixture of dark and blue with a nice shape. And then the rest of it is beautiful, because even if it's a boring urban street, for all I know, not suggesting you live in a boring urban street, Mary, it doesn't matter because it's all gone fuzzy. You kind of got a suggestion of sky at the top, a hint of a building on the right, maybe a bit of a path there, but we don't know. It's just a really nice study in detail. And a final thing, you have really done well in getting it slap bang in the middle. There are arguments for putting it in the middle. There are arguments for not putting it in the middle. It doesn't matter. If you like it, it's good. And I like it. Okay, next in the photo analysis, by the way, if you've just joined, this is number 3 in the photo analysis stroke masterclass introduction series. So 20 minutes of photo analysis and 10 minutes me telling you about the masterclass if you would like that information. This one is great. Remember, again, we're on the close-in theory, the close-in topic. This was day 2 in the 5-day challenge. And you know I always look for double meanings, if possible. There doesn't have to be one. But if there is one, I'm happy. And this is good because on the face of it, it's a close-up of something. Where's the double meaning? Well, the thing is telling you just how darn close-up you are. You see, it's telling you, you know, hey, whoa, back off, buddy. You're at 1 inch from me, or, you know, not far, or you seem to be. So we know that we're up close and personal on something which could be a huge piece of plastic for all we know, but no, we guess it's a ruler because it tells you how many inches. So there's a kind of double meaning. It's a close up on a thing for measuring distance. So that was nice. And I think it was Ronnie. Who was that? No, Claudia. Yeah, so great. And I think you did another couple in the same sort of spirit. It's amazing how often desktop equipment, or, you know, stationery, or, you know, the edge of your glasses, or a detail of a pen can actually be a really attractive shot when you move away from the object itself and look at the tiny details on the object. See, look at this. I mean, if you had a close-up where this thing, it doesn't go sharp with my camera, but imagine the whole thing was just that, with a hint of the word France, a hint of the thing for clipping it on. You know, it would be an interesting abstract thingy. All right, so moving on. This one it's going to kill you, folks. This is the love of her life, the beautiful, the wonderful, the amazing pair of paws. Pause for thought. And this is from Vivian. And I think she had some cute comment. And I've got another one of these sort of to die for pictures coming up right at the end. So watch out for that. This is so beautiful. Of course, when we think about our pets, our animals, we think of them as a whole. If we do think of parts of them as beautiful or that we want to take pictures of, it's normally their head, their eyes. You wouldn't normally, I mean, I'm guessing, but I would guess this is the first time Vivienne has ever taken a photograph of only her beloved pet's paws. And don't hands speak? Don't they just, you don't need the face, you don't need anything. Even dogs' hands. You know, we know that people's hands can speak, especially if they seem weathered or wrinkled or, you know, they seem to have lived. You can imagine the hard tasks that those hands have been put to, as well as the lover's caresses and all that sort of stuff in the hands. Well, my goodness, this is so beautiful, you know, and the paws, one is on top of the other. It suggests, it makes you think the doggie's at rest, he's relaxed, he's in a situation where he's loved, he's calmed, he's not stressed, and it's taken by his mistress, who obviously loves him. So, you know, emotion shines through this photograph for me. It's absolutely beautiful. So that was Vivienne getting a close-up on her doggie's paws. Look at the different colors of the nails and everything. Amazing. All right, moving quickly on before we get to overwhelmed by emotion. This is great. How simple can that be? I don't know what it is. I think this is from Iskra. I think it's bubbles that light up, or possibly it's just bubbles which are backlit by something. But I think maybe there's little lights inside them. So it could be Christmas decorations. Yes, you see there's a wire. Sorry, there's a wire going in there. It might not seem like a big deal. You know, you look around the place for something to photograph. You wouldn't normally choose something which is probably about this big. And yet, getting close. Interesting shapes, repeated shapes. That's a good thing. The one nearest us is in focus. The others are fuzzy. That's a cool thing for producing a nice image. The background is really fuzzy. They're different sizes because of the way she's placed herself. One is down in the bottom right. There's a whole load of stuff that make what could seem like a non-picture absolutely beautiful. You know, towards the sort of thing you could blow up this big and put on your wall. Why not? You can put anything you want on your wall. So, and this would be really pleasant to look at. So that is from Iskra. Thanks very much, Iskra. And yeah, just one thing. She seems to, there's either a special effect being used there, or it's maybe even been taken through a window. I don't know, but it's got a very nice, soft, almost mottled effect to it. You can't maybe see it this close. There's actually, you see the effect she's used. It's a kind of a mottling effect, and it's really atmospheric. It's lovely, taken from a tiny little, not even an ornament, just a common but pretty lighting fixture. So that's wonderful. Right, next one. We've got 3 more of yours, 1 more of mine, and then it's masterclass time. If I can manage to do this. There we are. I can even make that more impressive like that, because we don't really need the top. So the whole thing is like this. Very simple shot. And it's definitely close up. She's nicely framed the hand. The bottom of the hand, the back of the, this is all spontaneous blah, blah, by the way, you know, none of it is planned. I'm sort of freestyling. So the bottom of the hand, there's not much happening after the bottom of the hand. It's a kind of logical conclusion for the shot, especially considering the hand is holding something, or seems to be. Therefore, the interest is from the back of the hand upwards. Therefore, she has, I would say, instinctively put the back of the hand at the bottom of the shot, with the fingers leading up and even pointing towards whatever else is coming. And it seems to be holding something. And because you don't have all of the thing, you kind of want to know what all of the thing is. It's an intrigue. It's an added intrigue that you get with close-ups that you don't have with the whole thing. You see the whole thing, you think, oh yeah, it's up. It's a statue. It's up. But you wonder whose hand this is. You know, is it Jesus's hand? Is it a worker's hand? Is it a hand on its own? There's no statue attached. We don't know. So that's cool. And it's actually interesting to have the contrasting lines going this way as well. You've got the lines of the hand going that way. You've got the contrasting lines going this way. And so it's simple, and yet it's an interesting photograph. You know, it's not an everyday photograph. And that's what I'm about. That's what you get when you come on the masterclass. You stop taking sad selfies. You stop taking sad snaps, tourist snaps, and you move up several levels in terms of your photographs having impact, visual impact, and emotional impact. So that's what I'm looking for. A couple more. This one is, so that was from Teresa, sorry. Iskra was the bobbles, Vivienne was the paws, Teresa the wooden hand, thank you for those. And this is Ruth. And Ruth took a shot of an ostrich feather. Now this could be, you could, when you shoot something pretty, as a photographer, you need to make sure that it's not just a pretty shot because the thing you're photographing is pretty. It's a bit like the taking pictures of other people's street art or graffiti. If you just take a straight on shot, and if your photograph is vaguely okay, people will actually be admiring the artist's graffiti, not your photograph, which is fine if that's what you want. But as a creative photographer, that's not what we want. We want people to be seeing us in our photographs, not just somebody else's artwork. So that's all that's to say, looking at this feather, I want to see Ruth shining through this feather, not just a pretty ostrich feather. So is that the case? Well, I would say it is, because she's used a couple of techniques. Even if she didn't know she was using them, I'm telling you, she used them. The ostrich feather slightly off to the left, and especially, and the point of interest, which is the big blue bit in the middle, that's the main point of interest, I would say, is slightly off to the left, which is nice. It's actually more visually pleasing than when it's slap bang in the middle, because then it might as well be like a museum shot. It's off to the left, yes, but what are we going to put on the right? Well, there are some out of focus turquoise thingies. It doesn't matter what they are, they're out of focus. That's the other thing. The background's out of focus. You can do this on smartphones. And it's a lovely colored, don't know what, but it's out of focus. So it doesn't detract too much from the ostrich feather, which is also quite a busy bunch of colors. I won't go any further on that. You can see how far we could go down this rabbit hole. I'm just saying, I think she has, Ruth, you have instinctively taken a shot which incorporates several cool photographic elements, not elephants, as I sometimes say. This is the last one in your shots. How about that? And this is 𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁𝗁 dog's eye, eyelashes, hair. Isn't it amazing to see an eye that close up? It seems so almost human. It's got the eyelashes, it's got the eye, but imagine if we had hair coming. Anyway, isn't that a beautiful shot? The eyes are the windows to the soul, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but they kind of are, aren't they? And when it's an animal, there's something different to when it's a human. Sometimes we anthropomorphize, you know, but I think there's something to it. You know, you can look into a dog's eyes, maybe even more than a cat's. Cats are I've been looking cat sitting and kitten sitting this summer. I've looked into their eyes. I'm not 100% we're making a huge connection. You know, it might be like she's just waiting to see, is that idiot going to go and get me some more food, or should I pounce on him and scratch him a bit more? Dogs, it's not quite the same thing. There's something about dogs, and getting that close, and you're entering the soul of the dog in a way. Maybe I'm being a little bit, you know, poetic there, but you know, if this is a dog, her photograph, she called it the apple of my eye. That was the title Cooley gave this. So I mean, need we say more? It's a beautiful, beautiful shot. All right, so my last one, that was yours, fantastic. Now, my last one before we launch into about the masterclass is this one. And I thought for my last shot of these shows, I would do today's shot. And then you see, you know, without any pretense, not picking the best ones, literally just what I did today. And I did this a little while ago. By the way, having a creative habit is something that I am very strong on. A lot of my training, my creativity training and productivity training includes that idea, having a creative habit. For example, I create and publish a photograph like this, in fact, this is today's, and a text every day. And I've done it for the last nearly 1,000 days in this current project. So now I've got nearly 1,000 photographs, which I'm happy with, you know, a little bit every day. That's beside the point, but it's all part of this thing. And it's amazing how quickly it builds up as well. So here was today's. I've got Lady Eiffel in there on the top left. Think of the ostrich feather. Not ostrich, peacock. Okay, think of the positioning of the peacock feather and the Eiffel Tower down in the bottom right, which is framed, by the way, by the train door. I'm on a train going over the Seine. That's a kind of half frame, you see, in that bottom right-hand corner. And then there's a big point of interest, which isn't just the Eiffel Tower, and that's this sticker on the window about the security, the health things that we should bear in mind when traveling on transport. And I've processed this a little bit to make it look a bit grungy. So that was my effort for today. And there's a text that goes with it. If you want to, you can check out my profile. It's always on there. And now I will take up to 10 minutes to tell you about the masterclass. Of course, if you know the masterclass, you booked on it, you may go. Otherwise, stay where you are. No, I'm joking, of course. But so at the end of every single show here, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the masterclass, look at your comments, and answer any questions you have. So Despina says, hi, Sab. Hi, Despina. It's the window in the west. Okay, so she's talking about the photographs. There's light behind, nothing else. Okay, so that was for the bottles. Thomas, who is also known as Nothing But a Burning Light, is there. Angela is here. Hi, Angela. I almost posted a photograph of yours, Angela, every single show, but I thought, no, better let some of the others have a go. And Despina says, the cat was fond of you and admiring you, in case you didn't notice. Well, okay, yeah, if you like. So you can ask any questions you like about the masterclass, and I'll try and answer them in the next 10 minutes. Where do I start? This is always where I get a little bit disorganized, although the masterclass is incredibly well organized. So it's a masterclass intro. It's coming up on Monday. It's my entire life's photographic experience, which is actually quite a lot in there. And it starts with, let me share another screen here. Actually, instead of faffing around, I'm going to show you something right now, and then we won't need to go back. This is the program. So as you can see, there's 5 modules. I won't tell you much on this because I want to tell you what you get from the masterclass, how it makes your photography amazing. But just to show you, this is the outline. There's 9 weeks. There's 2 break weeks in the middle. So it's 9 weeks plus 2 weeks where you don't do anything or you consolidate. And you've got 5 modules and you have 9 weeks. Each module has a name. Well, let me show you. Module 1, discover the joy of photography. Module 2, master your camera and apps. Master 3, compose your photos like a pro. Module 4, develop your photographer's eye. This is incredible. This is where you put your heart into your photographs instead of just techniques, or as well as. And the last one is where you consolidate, relax, celebrate, and present your work. Okay, but what I want to tell you is what you get. In other words, how amazing your photography will be by the end. So let me just share this screen. First of all, I ask you to, if you will, to accept your mission. And what I mean by that, hang on, I'm just juggling windows here. And I'd like to be juggling windows. And what I mean by that is there's a mission that you accept when you come on the masterclass. And this mission is to make sure that you are really, really delighted with the outcome of the masterclass. And here it is. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to develop your photographer's eye, master your smartphone camera, and produce a superb collection of original photos under 9 inspiring themes in just 9 weeks to impress your friends and be extremely proud of. So that is what I promise you. And you're not left on your own. That's the whole spirit of this thing. It's very interactive. You've got in-depth training, but with lots and lots of interactive exercises. We have a Zoom call every week You have assignments every week. This is what gives you your 9 themes that you work on. Each theme practices a different type of photography. And you're in pods. And a pod is a small group of people. It might just be 2, 3, 4 people. And you're in a different pod of people per module. So you're not with the same people each time, but throughout each module, you're in a pod. You compare your notes, you help each other, you share your photographs behind the scenes and, decide which ones are the best to present for your portfolio. And by the end, you have an exhibition. It could be a simple online exhibition or a real one in your home or in a gallery. So you accept your mission. Why would you do this masterclass? If you're wondering, well, I mean, it could be many reasons, but I've thought of a couple of standard, sort of obvious ones. You love photography. And I grew up using cameras like these, things that do that sort of thing, and lots of, buttons everywhere. And that's fantastic. So why did I decide to focus on smartphone photography? Well, because I've always got it with me, and of course I haven't. You've generally always got your smartphone with you. It's actually nowadays a fantastic camera. And here's something you should remember. You should realize photographs are not made by the camera. They're recorded by the camera, but they're made by you and your entire lifetime of experience and whatever you've lived. That's how photographs are made. If you imagine when you click, what does it take to click? Well, it takes your entire life up until that moment to be in that position as you seeing what you see and clicking. It takes every photograph is the record of your life up until then. That might sound a little bit, over the top or precious, but it's true. It really is, every single minute in your life, an event and heartbreak and celebration led up to this second where you've decided, after all that stuff, to take this photograph or to take this photograph. Isn't that amazing? It's an amazing way of looking at things. So you love photography, and photography can go deep. You can point your camera at anything. And the photograph is actually a kind of a reflection of you, because it's you that pointed the camera at it. Also, you want to make the most of your smartphone. You've got this fantastic camera, but you're not sure. You point and shoot, basically. That's a shame. There's some people, they have these big cameras and they have it on the green one. You see the green one there? Some of them, they have it on the green one. That's pointing and shooting. And wow, you are missing out on some creative possibilities. Exactly the same with your camera. Your camera in your smartphone has so many possibilities if only you knew how to use them, how to exploit them. So that might be something you want to do. You don't need a big camera anymore, folks. Look at every single one of my nearly 1,000 photographs in my Paris Photo Chronicles. If you like any of them, well, it was taken on a smartphone. So that's why I moved over, really, just because it doesn't crush your creativity. In fact, it explodes it, because you've always got it with you. And even the apps, I'm not anti-apps. We go for the apps. We've got a whole week on apps. You want to express yourself creatively. You know what? I've kind of just covered that, but it's so wonderful to be able to get things out of us in a non-verbal way for once. And photographs are ideal for that. It's so much easier than painting, but it can be just as artistic, and even maybe more artistic in a way. And to create an amazing photo gallery. This is the promise of the masterclass. This is what you get by the end. I did want to quickly show you a couple of examples of masterclass galleries. So here we go. This is Xander, and this is from a project he did on color. And as you can see, there are a whole bunch of color photographs. And guess what color he went for? Well, it looks like red, but there's also a kind of green thing creeping in behind a few of them. This is the gallery, one of the galleries, 9 galleries you will get on the masterclass. Here's another example from Despina. And this one is nature. And she has probably found her thing, or one of her things, because in her taking pictures of nature, her passion shone through. She chose the subjects, she chose the way she took them, and she took those over something else. And she was excited to play with special effects and things. This is you finding your thing or your thing finding you. And there are special ways of doing that. And they might not be what you expect. And we look at that in throughout the masterclass, to be honest, but possibly more in the final, in module 4. And one more from my spring students' galleries. This is from 𝗬𝗧𝗑𝗧 in Peru. And these are geometrical shapes. Isn't it amazing how many of those you can find when you're just wandering around? I always like this one here on the top right because it looks like the thing on the yellow thing. It looks like a halo hovering over the thing at the bottom, but in fact it's on the ground behind. So those are some examples of what your photographs might start looking like on the masterclass. And we're nearly finished here. I did want to say that there are testimonials now, video testimonials, very short, 1 or 2 minutes on this page. And, you know, more than the written ones, which there are as well. If you go down to the bottom of the page, near the bottom of the page, I asked some of my previous students from this spring to do a little video. I didn't tell them what to say or anything. And this is what resulted. And if you want to know what the masterclass is like from a student's point of view from this spring, go there and listen to them. They're fun. And they say nice things, basically, but they say them from the point of view of a student, not me. Okay, so that might be a really great place to go first if you're looking at the masterclass page. Yeah, a quick peek at the program. Now, I did show you that just before. I showed you it on the next to the pictures. I'll show you it differently this time. I'll show you it through the modules. Okay, so the module 1, discover the joy of photography. I use metaphors here. I use a metaphor which is called the Rainbow Mountain method. And it's a method of you get to the top of the mountain and complete the rainbow as you progress through the course. And there are kind of symbols to help you see that progress. So I've kind of used this metaphor. I call module 1 planning the path. It's getting to know photography. What's photography? Why do we love it so much? What is this passion? And that's a great first module. But attention, as they say in French, you're still taking photographs from the word go. Don't worry about that. Taking photographs all the time. Module 2 is a 2-week module. So it's 1 week, 2-week module for module 2. Finding the foothills on your climb up the mountain, right? Mastering your camera and apps. 2 weeks, 1 on the camera, 1 on apps. Fantastic training, incredible. You have a week's break. Then you have module 3. It's the biggie. It's the core. It's 3 weeks. Here it's called scaling the slopes. Compose your photos like a pro. Every single possibility technique you need to go forward with great confidence and completely transform how your photographs look in that module. Then you have a catch-up week or a relax week. Module 4 is down to 2 weeks. All of this is part of the experiential learning thing, which is basically, this is an experiential learning masterclass. And what that means is everything has been tailored to make it fun for you to learn photography in the way the brain wants to learn, through excitement, surprise, passion, sharing with others, unexpected things, motivation, rewards for every time you complete something, a clear goal, which you will attain. That's in the program promise. So my promise isn't money back promise, because I only want people on here who want to do the program. The promise is you will achieve your goal, your mission. You will accomplish your mission, which is a beautiful gallery of photographs that you are so proud of to show to your friends by the end. So that's module 4, 2 weeks. Module 4, 2 weeks. This is probably the most powerful module, the most personal module. It's develop your photographer's eye. This is something I can't do for you, but I can help you to do it because it's personal. I can't do it for you, you know? But I can show you what it means, what we mean when we say the photographer's eye, like when writers talk about finding their voice. It's drawing on everything you have done, everything you are, and putting it into your photographs somehow. And that's a wonderful module. And the last one is 1 week, relaxing, consolidating, thinking about how to display all of your photographs together for the next, for your exhibition, and next steps, you know, where you can go from there to keep the momentum going. So that's my peek inside the program. Yeah, as I said, it's sounds rather official, doesn't it? These little things here, certified experience product. That's what I told you. incorporating every possible technique and new ones when they come along to make this the training course you finish, not the one of the 95% you don't finish. Okay, this one is not to be not finished. I'm not here. I'm not doing this to have people on here who aren't going to finish. I'm not interested. So I do whatever it takes to help you finish. And that's it. So basically, it's incredibly fun, enriching, and I would like you to join me. There is an early bird price, which closes very soon. By the weekend, we'll be at the end of that because it starts on Monday. And you click here and you put in the code Earlybird and you get €200 off the normal price. So check that out. And I would love to see you in the masterclass. I mean, that's not all. I'm thinking of doing a complete webinar on like an official one on the masterclass maybe for the weekend. But I think you've got more or less, you kind of get what it's about. You see my style. You haven't seen how in-depth and really, really good the videos are. There's a live call every Saturday. You know, I could go on and on. I'm really happy with it. It's my entire life's work in terms of photography in there and in terms of creative learning, modern learning techniques as well. So that's it for today. No, it's not, because I might do another one later because I've got to catch up. I'm doing 9 of these. Can you believe it? Can you imagine what it takes to do 9 of these? And I'm not talking about you feeling sorry for me because of this effort, because I love it. I love it. You can't stop me. To do 9 of these is pleasure for me. It's pleasure. What could be better than looking at fantastic photographs and saying why I like them? Okay, so that's it, except I have a couple of comments. Something about the cat from Despina. I have decided to take part in the masterclass. Yes, Thomas, fantastic. I just hope I'll finish it all too. Let me tell you about that in a second. I'm often tired from my normal job, but I will try my best. I think it will give me 9 weeks of motivation and fun. I'm really looking forward to this new experience. Well, you can relax, Thomas, because you don't have to finish it in the 9 weeks. And don't forget, after the first 3 weeks, modules 1 and 2, there's a week's break. Then the big 3. So you do the biggest module in the middle, and then it's downhill, you see? So you've got the big 3 in the middle, then you have a week's break. The week's break is to relax, like do nothing about photography, to consolidate, to go over the things you got behind with maybe, or to practice some techniques more. You might even want to swap out, you know, some of your early portfolio pictures for some newer ones. That often happens. And the other thing is, you don't have to finish by the end of the 9 weeks. You know, you can't fail this program. You can take longer. Of course, I'm focusing on getting you to the end of the 9 weeks and finishing, and you can. But if for some reason something comes up, it's not a problem. You know, you've got access to the program forever. I'm not going away. You know, I'm there. The promise of this program is I'm with you as long as you're willing. You know, I don't do the work for you, but as long as you want to do it, I'm with you until you complete your project. Mission accomplished. Okay, so don't worry about the time. You know, and plus, you know, you've got the other people to help you. They will inspire you, so you're not alone. InfiniteCreativeNow.com. No, not exactly. Let me show you. I thought I typed this in. Yeah, here we are. I'll put it along the bottom there. Can you see that? I should have done this before. You see how pro I am? So it's InfiniteCreativityNow.com. If you go there, there's a button you click. So if you go to InfiniteCreativityNow.com, where I'm going now. I'm happy you're doing this, Thomas. We need some more men. More men, please. Reinhold, where are you? Rob, where are you? Who have I forgotten? You go to this page. This is InfiniteCreativityNow.com. You click this button. I'll click it where I should click it. You click this button, early booking now open, the pink button, and you get to that. Go click the click to join button and enter Earlybird, one word, as in capital letters, and you get the $200 discount. All right, so if there are no more questions, I'll call it a day. Thanks, everyone. I'm so excited. I've got 6 more of these, count them, 6 more times where I'm going to look at 9 of your wonderful photographs from the 5-day challenge and say why I like them in particular. Okay, so without further ado, what is it? What's he saying? I have done it right now. Okay, excellent. Well, if you have any difficulties, just let me know. All right, so I'm out of here, and I'll probably see you again later on today. Watch out for that. And